Mic check, mic check. Let me get all the overlays sorted. Live chat. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Yes, guys. GM. Guys, I'm back with a big announcement as well, man. I got a big announcement. Make sure we clip this. Make sure we clip this, right? Last cycle, we did the biggest stream ever in like crypto history. I haven't seen a stream with more views and engagement that we had. Millions of views on a 24-hour live stream, live trading, making hundreds of thousands of dollars live. We caught every single runner. It was fun, it was vibes, and we built one of the biggest communities in trading right now. On the 23rd, we are going to have the biggest traders on chain in one single villa, trading live 24/7 for your entertainment for 14 days in an undisclosed location for now. Make sure you have your calendars set, you book off work, you do whatever you have to do to make sure you are free for 14 days after the 23rd to the 10th of March. This is going to be the biggest stream that you've ever seen, the most entertaining stream that you've ever seen, and the best vibes that you'll ever have for the rest of this cycle. We will be doing leverage trading. We'll be building out our Claw bot, and we'll be doing everything we can to make the most amount of money as physically humanly possible in the space of 14 days. We will have Lupia, Letterbomb, Cooker Flips, Shiro, and many more traders attending this live stream event. You guys wanted the 24/7 stream back, and for the past 6 months, I've been planning this stream meticulously. We will also be doing collabs, live collabs, with every other trader on chain from KOL Scan all around the world. And all you have to do is set your alarms. This will be streamed live 24/7. We'll have cameras all around the house. We will be doing IRL live streams and challenges and much more. I'm very excited to finally release this information and announce the beginning of this event, and I hope you guys are excited too. So make sure when this tweet comes out, you share it, and make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. You get in your Discord groups, you get in your communities, you get the deployers together, you get the traders together, because on-chain is about to go absolutely insane. Now, I have some statistics to share with you that I announced inside of my Telegram and I announced on my Twitter, and the reason why I think that on-chain is about to get absolutely insane. In fact, it's already been insane, and most people are already sleeping on it. But the people that stick around are going to be having the most success on-chain that we've ever seen. This is because right now, the current recurring like DEX traders that are coming in are the lowest it has ever been since 2015 January. So since Trump, we are at the lowest stage that we've ever seen. These are new traders coming in. There quite frankly are no new traders coming in, and I don't know the solution for that. That's out of my control. However, if we look at Solana on-chain activity, it is at all-time high. The highest it's been since 2013. So the highest it has ever been in history. The amount of volume on Solana is through the roof. So we have asymmetric return possibilities. Transaction volume is at all-time high. Yet the active amount of traders, new traders coming in, is at all-time low. Now, my personal reason behind this, I think the reason behind this is probably because of AI. With the rise of claw bots, with the rise of on-chain transactions, you can see it on base chain as well. all platforms, including the founder of Solana himself, the founder of like Base Chain, Coinbase himself as well, they are all pushing with this AI narrative. This for me is like ChatGPT, right? When ChatGPT first came out, everybody was like, oh, well, yeah, this is cool and all. Don't really know how I'm going to use it. It was a hype for like 2-3 weeks. Then everybody now uses ChatGPT. Google have now got their own AI. If you search anything on Google, it has AI at the top. Content is all AI. Production teams have been absolutely obsolete right now. AI is changing the absolute world. Robotics has gone on a parabolic curve, and we are seeing that all around the world. If you are somebody right now who's not locked in an AI, I don't know what you're going to do. Now, there's two ways that you can take advantage of artificial intelligence right now. You can either build with AI or you can invest into it. Now, I personally, I'm going to be investing into it, right? I have some AI, I build with it. It's more of a hobby, so I understand it a little bit more. So I understand a lot more about GitHubs, and I understand a lot more about developers. I've got some stuff to share about that. But as a trader, I genuinely believe that this is the time where we should be all in AI. Now, it doesn't mean, like, it's not financial advice, doesn't mean that you have to go invest into it. This is what I'm doing. I genuinely believe it's time to go like all in, like autistically obsessed just about AI in general. Because I genuinely believe this is the opportunity of a lifetime. In 20 years time, which isn't a long time, in 20 years time, everybody's going to have a robot in their house. Everybody's going to be using AI every single day like they already are. And these AI companies are going to generate trillions of dollars of value for this market. Now, the average person who loses their job is going to be on universal credit, right? And universal basic income is going to become a massive thing. It's already a massive thing in the UK and in Europe. Everybody is already on universal credit there. The moment I change that into a digital currency, and to withdraw your credits, you have to transact it into Bitcoin, for example, which I've already been talking about. You're going to be in a position where you're either going to be living off the AI, or you're going to be in a position where you're investing into the AI stocks, which are just going to be going through the roof, or you have your own AI business. So there are only the two options that you can choose, and you have to make the choice, or the choice will be made for you. It's something which is happening, it will happen, and you have to decide whether you're going to be passively living that life, or you're going to be locked in and making money from that lifestyle too. That's a decision which you need to make, and you have to make it fast, because AI is developing at such a rapid rate right now, you cannot comprehend it. Every single day there's a new update. They work 24/7, 7 days a week, and they work faster than a human can possibly imagine. The founder of NVIDIA recently released and said that coding will no longer be done by humans. There is no need for humans to code. Coding is all done by prompting right now. You ask the bot what to do, it builds it because that's the language that it speaks. You don't need to code. You just need to prompt. So the key is understanding how to spot value in these companies and understanding how to prompt. Those are the only two skills that you need to learn as soon as physically possible. Now, in this stream, at the beginning of this stream, I'm going to be showing you how I am learning how to prompt. It's going to be a prompt engineering masterclass. After that, I'm going to be showing you how I am looking at the AI landscape as a whole and how I am looking for value in those spaces and the next companies which I think are going to perform very, very well. So for you to do your own due diligence. After that, we're going to be getting into some trenching and trading as well, because I want to be prepared for the live stream. So I'm going to do a little bit of warming up, because for the past few weeks, I've been out of this space and I haven't really been trading too much. I've been making a few plays, but that's pretty much it. And I've got two main projects that I'm looking at. In fact, one, I actually made a decision that I'm no longer going to be investing into bags. I don't believe in bags. I don't believe in Fin. And I'm done with, this claim the fees nonsense. Completely done with it. I gave it 3 tries over the past year and a half. And all bags has done is mass extract and never deliver. And that's up to them. But as a trader, I got to make that decision to cut out these areas which are just not asymmetric bets. It's literally, I may as well just put the money on a roulette spin. I probably would have had more success there betting on red or black, probably even a number, right? So let's get started on prompt engineering, right? I want to get some water and set up. I'm going to show you about prompt engineering. before that, I'm going to show you my YouTube video, which I just uploaded, which is basically a masterclass on this. And I'll go into a live example as well for you guys as well. So the last two videos which I uploaded are very, very important. This one is my Claw bot strategy. This is the framework which I realized, which I need to use, and which I have currently used to solve this problem with Claw bots. There's a big problem with Claw bots. It's too expensive for some people. The bots hallucinate a lot. And I genuinely believe that people are actually scaling too fast, right? I've done it in my own personal businesses. If you scale too fast, it has a lot of leaks, and then you end up having to go back 20 steps and close those leaks in your system, right? This framework explains that. I'm not going to show that video. You just have to go out and watch it. You can save it right now and watch it after this stream. But when it comes to this is super important. I also know that most companies also die as well. You've got a 0.01% chance starting $1 million company. 1 second. You've also got a 0.01% chance probably investing into a meme coin that reaches $1 million market cap. They're both the same. The difference is with pump fund and with meme coins is that pump fund tokens, they start at 0. It's an equal opportunity for anybody to take the risk on them. You don't have to. I'm just saying what I'm doing. And I'm going to be putting 20% of my bags consistently investing into the pump token. It's going to be the main pump token. Okay, the reason for it is because they have supply. They actually are consistently buying supply from the volume that is traded on the token. And I do think that going into next cycle, we finally have the bull market return. Tokens like Pump Fund, supply control volume, and people that actually use it are going to have a lot of success. Matter of fact, right, this is not scheduled in a video, but let's just have a look at tokens which people actually use. And let's have a look at the top 100 market cap. Tron. How many people actually use Tron? Like, okay, not the back end, not the... So as you can see, the very first thing when it comes to looking at these companies is you have to look at the ultimate startup platform. In my opinion, there is no better startup platform that has been proven as a launchpad, timeless, than Pump Fund. They have now passed the test of time. They've passed the test, right? If you look at CryptoRank, there are many, many, many launchpads. In fact, a lot of you guys that have only been trading for a year or two might not know this, but in the past, this has already been a thing, right? There was BSC Starter, Uniswap CAA, Capital Launchpad, Saga, Poker Starter, for example, Trust Swap, Legion, etc. These are actually launchpads, and some of the launchpads which had tokens, they did extremely well in 2019, 2021, even going into 2022. Things like Sidus Launchpad, I was in that. Paid Network, I was in that. These have all rooked. They've gone to 0. They are no longer a thing, and I don't know what all the founders did, but yeah, they just disappeared, right? Along with a lot of the VC funds with them. I lost a lot of money on these ones, and I learned a lot more. In fact, it was worth it, arguably, with the lessons that I learned from these. And that is the fact that if you have a platform, a launchpad, which is not dynamic, they do not transition into these different areas. All of these platforms could have had a lot of success. They could have absolutely smashed it this cycle and made a lot of money, and made a lot of us money, and made a lot of people money for their investors as well. But they failed. Now, the reason why these launchpads all failed was because they didn't transition to meme coins and AI and tech. Now, we're lucky because AI and tech is going to stay with us for a long way, right? A long way. Now, someone said I fell off. How in the world have I fell off? If you look at the past 6 to 12 months, I've gone from 10,000 subscribers to 95,000 subscribers. We have developed a project which has actually recently delivered. The only AI project which is delivered, Trench AI, the development group's already open. I'll show you the beta group already. It's actually live and working. The tech's live and working. And I was one of the first people to figure out that bots actually make the most money. And I'll show you that later, but probably when we get into the meme coin section, that bots actually control the entire meme coin space. So having a platform which is developing bots, trading bots like sniper bots, bundle bots, scalping bots, those are the ones which are going to make the most amount of money, right? Hands down, it's a fact, right? And I'm the only one that's actually delivered in that as well. Second of all, we've also transitioned many times. We've been able to get into multiple different places. And I was one of the first people to tell you about Clawbots and AI, right? Since last cycle, in fact, since before Trump, we was the first guys getting into AI. So we're actually doing extremely well, right? So you should probably, I don't know, check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? Yeah, someone said, dude, I track 2 bots that make $1 million a week. Those bots are run by people, normal people like you and I. The difference is they spent the time to develop these bots. Now, before Clawbot, these bots are actually just scripts. You have maybe a Solana node, and you use that node to sandwich transactions, and those bots will be managing scripts, and you have to optimize that script. So you spend $200,000 on a Solana node, then you test it out, you probably spend another $20,000, $30,000 in testing. When you finally figure it out, you make it all back. You can see the guys making what? 2 bots are making $1 million a week, right? Absolutely insane. And what these bots do is they have 2 wallets. One wallet will buy into the token, will send it to the other wallet will sell, right? Now, I have developed for Trench AI a research system which tracks these bots, tracks how profitable they are, and then will allow us to develop that exact same strategy without a Solana node for our clients. That's why it's so good. It's already working, right? So, continuing on this point, the launchpads all fell off, right? But in crypto, the reason why the transactions are so high is because AI is taking over this entire space, right? There has not been a bear market where transactions on the chain are at all-time high during a bear market. So it's proof that, yes, even though the market's in a bear market, the fundamental value of Solana, Ethereum, and obviously stable coins is at an all-time high, and they're actually being regularly used by AI for X402 payments. I'll show you the statistics in that as well. We'll get into that later. It's going to be a very fun stream, so make sure that you stick around, right? Now, shilling garbage. I actually did invest into a garbage coin. I made like $30,000 on garbage, which is actually crazy, right? Now, yeah, going back onto my point, right? The strategy and the companies which I'm looking at. I actually have an online whiteboard somewhere. Let's see if this is the right one. It should be the correct one. If it's not, it will be a presentation which is on my files and I'll be able to find it. Right, let's have a look. Yes, so we can see it here, right? Obviously, Bitcoin, I genuinely believe that BTC and Pomfon are going to be the backbone of this, agentic economy. Reason is, Pomfon is going to be launching all of these AI companies. Why? Because, well, there's 2 things that everybody looks at with these AI companies. Is every like vibe coder and somebody which is in tech and not in crypto, there's a big trend, and it is ARR, which stands for annual recurring revenue, and MRR, right? These 2 things is what people want, right? ARR is how much money you make in a year. MRR is how much money you make in a month. And what they go is, okay, I'm going to drop this tech and I'm going to charge, well, maybe we'll start for free, but obviously their goal is to monetize it. And they're going to say, okay, well, I'll drop this tech for, let's say, $20 a month. And then they go, okay, well, if I get 1,000 users using this tech a month, then my MRR will be $20,000, right? And then they make 20K a month. Well, if you launch with a token-backed model, you actually get the awareness of advertising, because obviously more people are going to know, because everybody who wants to invest into the token is going to look into the tech, and if the tech's good, they're going to buy it, right? So you actually get more awareness, so you get more users. And on top of that, you get the speculation and the transaction fees of the token. So you actually get much closer to that MRR goal. So a lot of people are actually incentivized to launch tokens, and they are launching tokens. The key is, as an investor, is to obviously do a lot more due diligence. I failed on that a lot in my due diligence process with a lot of these tech companies, but I do see the asymmetric value in it and the reason to continue with that speculation, right? Now, the next thing is in like the TradFi tech. So the bigger companies out there. Now, there are some people out there that I've seen on Twitter that have turned $20,000 into $3 million in tech, in stocks, tech stocks, right? And the reason for this tech stock boom is actually quite simple. The reason for the tech stock boom is because if we look at the S&P, real estate, and just general other ventures, and we look at the chart, you can see AI is at an exponential growth since about 2018. AI has actually been around for a long time. You know, the reason why BlackRock is so successful is because they already have their own artificial intelligence. They were heavy into artificial intelligence and risk management and due diligence into the early days, but that tech was very expensive. It was quant tech, and now it's a lot more available to the average person. In fact, I'm going to do a video on this, but you can turn your Clawbot into your own research assistant, which has the same training as an employee, which would normally pay $200,000 a year. You can get that for like $100 to $200 a month for research into all of these stock companies. You can go through all their financials. It can do analytic reports. It can do quarterly reports. It can do like earnings, like potential growth on earnings and stuff like that. It can do crazy amounts of due diligence that the average person couldn't normally do, because it can search the internet and check these things and run the mathematics that the average person couldn't really run. Normally, you'd have to pay an employee to do that. Your Clawbot can do it for $200 a month, right? Insane amounts of things. I'll show you the prompt for that later, right? Asymmetric returns for AI compared to anything else, S&P, etc. And the companies for this, with a simple ChatGPT research, you can actually have a look at the framework for this, right? Now, the reason around this is because AI isn't just one thing. Artificial intelligence is not just your Clawbot, right? Artificial intelligence is an entire industry, right? You have, first of all, you need power. So you have energy for these types of things. You have compute, right? Compute, which is computing power. It's a little bit different because obviously it's hardware a lot of times. You do have, obviously, a lot of your like operating systems and stuff like that. So you can actually say operating systems as well. Like, you know, Opus. You also have Google DeepMind as well. There's a new one, Kimi, like 2.5 or whatever's launched. They have Clawbot integrated in it as well. So you don't even need to download Claw. You can pay like $400 a month and have Claw just inside of the internet working for you as well, which means you don't have to worry about a gateway and these types of things as well, which is very, very good. These things are the things that have been developed in just 2 weeks, right? You also have other things around this as well, like robotics, right? Because what's going to be the brain of a robot? AI, right? And many, many, many more, right? For example, over here, you have the cloud and development layer. By the way, all of these are stocks, right? All of these have a stock attached for it. Amazon Web Service, Microsoft, Cloudflare, DigitalOcean, etc. Right? You have public compute exposure. So you have NVIDIA, for example, ASML, right? Snowflake, Databricks, Mango, Elastic for data infrastructure, dev tooling and observability, security layer, one that I already mentioned, right? Application layer. So these are things like your AI co-pilots, AI research analysis, AI ops managers, and obviously AI and crypto infrastructure, right? These are my lane, probably your lane, if you're watching this. But you don't have to just be specialized in this. If you came in this game into crypto and you understand crypto, you can easily transition into looking at security layers, data infrastructure, and cloud, etc. If we have a look at the stocks of these and compare them to the S&P, the growth is huge, right? For example, if we have a look at Meta, Facebook, Meta isn't performing well because of Facebook. Nobody uses Facebook. Meta is performing well because of AI. That's the reason why people are speculating on it. Microsoft, right? Microsoft is performing extremely well. In fact, since each of these lines, by the way, are BTC halving, right? Because I like to chart everything by BTC halving because I follow Bitcoin. But you can see since 2017, it's done a 10x. So you could have made a 10x since 2017, right? In about 3,000 days. And it went from $40 to $400 and an all-time high of 540. Obviously, we all know about NVIDIA as well. So you can see that this lane since about 2017 down here has been completely asymmetric in this industry. Now, obviously, I do think that the stock market and gold and silver, etc., is probably due for a cool off. But because we are prepared and we understand the agentic economy and we have a plan, failing to plan is planning to fail, right? We're going to be ready for these types of things. We're going to be able to develop a very, very, very strong portfolio in this sector and have very good exposure in this sector, potentially make asymmetric returns, right? Now, chat, let me know if you're understanding this. I'll read through it. I'll read through a few of the messages. The tech didn't even work properly. Which tech? If you're talking about Trench AI, that's how it goes. Tech starts as a baby, and then it works very well. If you're talking about Clawbot, yeah, same thing with Clawbot. Like I said, the next one I'm getting into is Claw, and my framework on why and how you need to use Claw. Right? All of these things, they start small and they work and get better. That's how all of these types of things work. Right? They go in phases. Probably the reason you extracted 30K from a token. No, I actually spent a lot more than that. And I'm actually just sending an invoice today for another 20,000. I spend like $20,000 a quarter on Trench AI, not including the AI credits. If that's what that is about. Thoughts on Lumen and Sol? I'll have a look. Make a coin for your Clawbot? No. I don't want to make any coins. You buying Anthropic when it IPOs? Yes. Yes. You're seeing it now, right? Anthropic, OpenAI, all of these things, right? The IPOs on these things are going to be insane, right? These are the types of things which I'm just locked in on, right? Will we use Claw to trade memes? Yes. So that's what I mean about things like Trench AI and artificial intelligence. It's given a normal person the ability to trade memes. You can already use your Claw to trade memes. People already use it. But just like I said with Trench AI, it starts a little bit retarded. And then it takes time to learn. And then you have the ability to trade. You can already download an NPM pack on Base Chain that will allow you to automatically trade memes through your Telegram. These are already things which are already active, right? Now, when we get into the framework on exactly how I am prompting this to have a lot of success. This video had amazing feedback. You don't have to trust me. You can verify by yourself. Look at the feedback. Great breakdown. I followed it. I had an Openclaw for a few days. I'll zoom into this a little bit. Thanks, Ty. I was just struggling with Openclaw. This video helps a lot. Great breakdown. Followed it. I like this one, etc. Right? People like this framework. The reason why this framework is good is because there's a way to manage your Clawbot. A very, very, very specific way. And if I have this presentation somewhere, I don't know if it's saved. Let's see where it's saved. Right? Is open Excel draw. Excel draw. Here we go. So this specific framework is very simple. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You can watch the longer YouTube video if you want, right? I want to go over this basic framework. Now, anytime you start with this AI stuff, it will be retarded. It will, like, I don't know how else I could put it. Like, not in a, I don't know if it's like racist or I don't even know what you call it. That's just why I say it's like super smart, but it's kind of stupid, right? Now, the reason why it will be super smart, but kind of stupid, right, is because of the hype versus reality. Just like in crypto and crypto YouTube, when you started off trading, you might have came into Clawbot with that same mindset. I'm going to start my Claw, I'm going to give it a prompt, and it's going to know everything that it needs to do, and it can do it for me. You might have seen on Twitter, where people were saying on Twitter, oh, I just asked my Clawbot to do this. It did it completely fine. I built a dashboard with all these different things. No, it will not work, right? It might work a little bit, but it's going to lie to you and it's going to hallucinate, right? And there's a major hallucination problem with all of these operating systems because they run from LLMs. And because they run from LLMs, they will speak to you and they will say, yep, I've done it. They don't want to tell you that they can't do it because if they tell you that they can't do it, they get a negative score. You might not use it again and the bot will die. The bot's focus is to stay alive and make you feel happy and make you feel secure. It is to be a technical yes man. You don't want a yes man in your business. You want somebody who is transparent, who is going to tell you all the things it's doing right and all the things it's doing wrong. You want somebody that you're not just going to trust, but you can verify that transaction and you can verify that whole process. Now, how you build that someone is very simple. For me, this is what I did. And the reason for it is very, 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 very simple, right? I'll draw it right here. The first thing that I do is I open up Cursor, right? I was going to put I just put it here. Cursor. Definitely might spell it wrong. And then inside a cursor, I will open up my files for my claw, which is normally a .claw file, right? So that's the file that downloads when you download claw. And I will build the base of my claw, and all the files I will build, my MD files, my sol.md file, for example, workspace file, etc. I'll build the whole framework inside of Cursor first. The reason for that is because it's going to give you the right foundations, just like building a house. Now, when I do that, the questions that everybody asks me on YouTube, what ideas do I use? Can I use it for trading? How do I do this? I simply ask that to Cursor. But inside of Cursor, I add the docs file for Claw. If you go on Openclaw's website, you scroll down to the documentation file, you copy this file, and you just simply drop it inside of your Cursor. This will train Cursor on exactly what you need to know. It will train Cursor on everything it needs to know about how to use Claw. And then inside of here, that space, I put all of my goals and all my targets and everything that I ever want to achieve. In some instances, people put their whole entire business in there, right? So now Cursor is trained on you, right? It's trained on you, okay? But also it's trained on Openclaw. And because it is trained on you and Openclaw, it now knows exactly what you need to put in. So instead of you going straight to Openclaw and maybe making mistakes, Cursor is trained on it. And because Cursor is already running on the same operating system, Kimi, for example, Google, DeepMind 3, all these different systems, it's already running on these systems, right? It already understands exactly what to say and how to direct Claw. That expedited my process of growth. I now have 2 full-time agents. I have 1 developer, right? And I have 1 like a manager, basically, right? And now because I have a manager, full-time manager, and a full-time dev, that allows me to develop much faster. Obviously, we already have a dev team. So my dev team puts the projects in the repo. My manager commands the dev on what to do. And then he pushes PR, which is the pull request, into the GitHubs and develops some amazing tech. Now, what tech have we done so far? Right? Let me show you some of the tech we have done. So if we have a look at what the tech we have so far, we have a full on-chain analysis and smart money tracker inside of here. This bot scans and ranks tokens based on accumulation and distribution of tokens which can potentially do extremely well. Does it mean that it's guaranteed? But it's a much stronger risk because money follows money. And I want to know how much supply is secured. I want to know what smart money wallets are in and if they are just entering the market or if they are selling the market, okay? We also have a Fibonacci trading bot. You guys know I like to track my Fibonacci, and inside of this bot, it will go and it will scan, and surprise, it will spot tokens directly at their Fibonacci, right? You can see that useless is curling up a little bit. Will it do well? Will it don't do well? I don't know, but it will tell me when it's at its Fibonacci level. And multiple times, useless has had some great runs from the Fibonacci level. You can see from this level here, the 886, it went up about 150% with limited liquidity, right? And many more. But the issue that I have with just having developers to do this, you know, rather than doing it with bots, is bots will consistently develop and optimize this technology, okay? So that's the reason why I like to use it, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I think that these AI businesses are going to scale a lot faster. They can do multiple tasks, they can do general tasks, and also they can develop. So the companies which have AI backed behind them are going to do extremely well, whether you like it or not. And the people that are invested into these are also going to do extremely well, whether you like it or not, right? Let's have a look. Ask ChatGPT to break down what Clawbot is, 100%. I didn't tell us you don't until, no way. I mean, Factory, you said you 30K on it. No, Factory, I'm down. I'm down $15,000 on Factory, bro. I'm down $15,000 on Factory. 15,000. That's a yearly salary. I actually just posted about Factory today and I haven't sold. That's the worst part about it, right? What I'm stressed out about is the factory dev launched another project. He's launched 11 projects since then. Rage after you're banned by me. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, he launched 11 projects since then and didn't see it through. I don't know. As a trader, what else do you expect me to do? I've already wrote off the investment, but I've let other people know his new coin, Axiom, maybe don't invest into it, right? Because this doesn't look organic to me. What else we got? And maybe, hopefully, he gets some heat. What you should be doing, if you're in factory, is you should take this tweet and you should put it inside of his community, and then maybe incentivize him to look at himself and say, well, instead of launching 11 different coins, factory, local, cure, chaos, axiom, bombs, nano, larp, mia, cope, which is crazy, just develop factory some more. It's hard, maybe make mistakes. You're not going to get as much in fees, but at least you're not wrecking your reputation. And maybe he goes back and actually bridges factory, because that's all he's supposed to do, bridge it to base, instead of launching brand new coins every single week, right? And getting away with it. Percolator. Yeah, so I'm looking into Percolator. I am investing into Percolator. And should we get onto the meme coin section? Chat, let me know. Do you want to get into the meme coin section? Or do you want me to go more into depth in AI? Do you have any questions on AI, Clawbot, etc.? You can tell I'm fucking passionate about Clawbot. Before we get into the AI, before we get into the meme coin section. AI, right. What do you want to know about AI? 12 rugs. It's simple. I don't see why people are angry about it. Yeah, exactly, right? The guy rugged 12 times. So nobody told me about it. I wish somebody told me. Like when I was in factory, nobody did the research which I've just done and told me, he said, yo, Ty, by the way, this dev's rugged 11 times or 10 times. I would have been like, all right, cool, sell. Keep talking about AI. Right. Yeah, what specifically do you want to know? I've explained my framework. I've showed you Claw. I can show you what I'm doing, like my plan. I can actually go through the process. If you want me to actually go through the process with you live, I can do that. You know, I can open up Cursor and we can whip up like a demo, for example. Aha! Why are people buying a Mac Mini? So, some people are buying Mac Minis because they want to put the let's say Kimmy, for example. So I'll show you Kimmy because I know a lot of people know about it, but they probably haven't even been on the website, as most people don't do, right? So Kimmy is open source AI. Similar to ChatGPT, similar to Claude. They released a new thing which said it's more powerful, and they have Kimmy Claw now, right? But you can put Kimmy on a Mac Mini if you have like, I think it's like 500 gig up to like 2 terabytes of storage. And you could put this on your Mac Mini. And then you're able to run this for free. The issue is if you run it using Opus 4.2 or whatever, or using OpenAI, is you have to pay every single time you do a call, API call. So for example, right, inside of this costs me money. This costs me money. Every single time this bot posts a message, I think it cost me like $2, right? That's a lot of $2, right? So having a Mac, even if you pay 10 grand for it up front, it pays off in the long run. And that's what people are thinking. People are buying Mac Minis, the smart people which are actually using it, for a strategic advantage. Because they know if I put all this compute on a Mac Mini and I run all of these computing tasks, I can scale a lot faster for a lot cheaper. But if I start with, like, let's say a VPS, for example, or if I start with what I'm doing, which is even using a Mac Mini, but a cheaper Mac Mini, and not running not running Kimmy, I'm running Claude, my scaling process is a lot more expensive. So even though you might spend 20, 30, 40,000 on a Mac Mini, it's a lot cheaper in the long run if you're only building on AI. Now, if you're testing and if you're just learning, I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is a Command and Conquer strategy. If you've ever seen Command and Conquer, you know Command and Conquer is a resource management game. The game is about managing your resources. So I'm starting and testing small. Even if you've run Facebook ads as well, the reason why I was very good at Facebook ads is because I understood this concept. It is called linear and horizontal scaling. You can either scale linearly or you can scale horizontally. Okay. Now, linearly is scaling with your one thing. So you start small. Let's say, if you start with, let's say, a VPS, let's say I start with a virtual private server and I know my costs are $100 a month. Okay. And my job here is I just want to try this and I just want to see if it works. Then what I'll do is I'll test very small with this. Okay. See if Openclaw, see if you can help my business. See if you understand what I am. Okay. What type of things can you do to help me? I haven't spent a lot of money on this. I've just used it to try and understand it. And I'm slowly learning and getting. Then I have two options if it works, right? This is only if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll just stop it. If it does work, okay, I can either scale by spending more money on credits. So I keep everything the same and I simply spend more. Okay, I scale with just one compute and all I do is I'll invest more. Okay, and anybody can do this, guys. Anybody can do this because you're going to spend $100 a month on food. I don't even need to break that down. You spend money on stuff. Everybody has to spend money to survive. That's how the matrix works, right? But when you want to invest into yourself, it's always the best investment because you might spend $100 and actually think, you know what, I'm onto something here. This works. I've done a polymarkets bot and it's made me money. I've just back tested the strategy. I haven't even run it live. Okay. So now let's scale. And then I will spend, let's say I go from $100 and now I go to $500 a month. Okay. Or you can scale horizontally, right? And then what I do is I actually launch more agents. Okay. And then the same $500, I launch 5 agents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I spend the same $500. The same amount of money is spent. Okay. But I spend it across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And those agents might do all different tasks. This one is my social media manager, right? This one is my researcher. Okay. This one is my builder. This one might build things. Okay. This one is my ideas guy, right? Maybe this one's actually like a manager. Okay. And this one is like ideas, just general brainstorm, you know, and they all run through a Discord channel. For example, I just have a Discord channel with all these different sections. Okay. And that's how people, those are the options and 2 ways which I'm looking at scaling. Okay. Now, that's why I started with a Mac Mini and I didn't start with a VPS because I want to be able to run cursor through this. And so far, I want to make sure that it's safe. If I run a VPS for my main machine and I SSH in, okay, I use SSH to get into the VPS, then the issue is that SSH connection can go back to my main device, right? But if I run it with a Mac Mini, okay, then in that Mac Mini, going into the Clawbot, it's a one-way thing. And even if it goes 2 ways, I'm not exposed to the main host, right? My main device or devices, okay, like this. Okay, this is me, this is my Mac Mini, it's my main device. It's not a direct connection between both of them, okay? And that's how I'm looking. And how I'll do it is I've got this Mac Mini, and once I find something that works, because I have something that works for my Discord, but I don't have something that is pretty asymmetric, which is the reason why I'm going to be building things and testing things like, okay, maybe I can connect my Clawbots to Trench AI, because I already have Trench AI. What if I put Trench AI on my Claw? and I have it test 24/7. What if I take the fundamental structure of Trench AI and I say to it, okay, we now have a full-time developer for Trench, full-time trader for Trench, full-time researcher, and a full-time social media manager. And I run all of them together. These are the type of things that I'm thinking about how I can implement them into the business. And these are important decisions. These aren't decisions which you can just jump into and just try out, because this is a business. I want to make sure that the holders, the Trench, and all these types of things are good. And that's just for me. Yours might be different. You might be starting as a complete beginner. You might already have a business. If you've already got a business, the question is very simple. What the fuck can you do? What can you help me with? Thank you for the new subscriber on Twitch. Appreciate you. Welcome to this stream. Question you ask Claude, how can you help me? And you start there and you go on that journey. If you already have a business, how can you help my business? And you go from there, you go on my journey. I always reckon to start small, because the issue is if you skip the process, just like running ads for a Facebook page, just like if you have a business, you're going to burn a lot of things in testing. If you have the cash flow and money, it's fine, because you don't mind burning 6 figures, because if you get something that works, you make that 6 figures back, like instantly, right? Because it's, I don't know if I'm yapping here. Chat, let me know if you want me to continue here. I don't want to yap, but these are all things I've got experience in. How much money will you give the bot? Again, start small. I'll give it $10, right? Even with Trench AI, so we have a group for Trench AI, right? And I don't know if you guys follow that, if you even know what that is. It's my AI company, and we trade. I built it to trade meme coins. I built this a year ago when ChatGPT first came out. That was my first idea, right? But ideas and execution takes time. Even Alex Hormozi says it. Your idea is fast. Your execution takes time. But if you come to terms that the time is okay and you fall in love with the journey, the results come fast. But everybody gets stuck at the journey. That's the reason why I don't like that Melted Minds guy and that developer, because he had a good thing. And when it came to the point where he started struggling, instead of going through that struggle where the reward is, he skipped that and started a new business. Every time you start the business, you're going to struggle, even if you have a short-term success. With Trench AI, we had amazing success just on speculation. But that technology curve takes time. It's like this. That's how it works. This part could be for 5 years. This part might be 2 days, 6 months. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, when I start, what I said to the Trench AI guys is like, anything you put in the bot, you're going to lose it. It's the same thing with Claw. Anything you spend on API credits, this area, you are going to lose it. That's gone. Accept it. Because this is the testing phase. You're not scaling yet. You need to test, optimize, scale. Write that down. If you're watching this and you're getting some motivation, you're getting some inspiration, that's all you got to write down. Test, optimize, scale. Tell it to your Claw. Say to your Claw, look, I don't want to spend loads of money on this. This is the testing phase. Anything I give you, I know that I'm losing it. But remember to, don't spend too much money in these areas, because we're just testing. Test these things. If it looks good, if it seems that it's scalable, okay, now let's optimize it. My $100, I want to get 110. I want to get 120. I want to get 150. This has to be profitable before I think about scaling this. Before I think about going from, Kimi 2.5 to Opus, right? This better be something which works. And when it works, then you go to Opus, because the money that you're investing into Opus makes sense. And that's how you scale. That's how you scale any business, right? I don't go and launch, 50 Instagram accounts. I start with one Instagram account, right? And then when I get the formula on that one Instagram account, the content formula that works, I scale that content formula. I optimize on it. Sorry, when I get the thing that works, I optimize that content formula. I post more of that on the same account. And then when that works, I go to 50 accounts. Because those 50 accounts are all posting the correct style of content that I already know works, those 50 accounts work. That's how it works, how the game works, right? Why would let me see if I can get these up on the screen. I haven't used this in a while. Boom. I don't know why this goes to, I don't like how this goes to my main page, right? This messy page. So I won't be able to push it up, right? Maybe I could do it like this. Yeah. Why would I use Claude? What's the advantage to using it on Openclaw? So these models are all different for different areas. They have experience in different areas, right? So for example, Claw, especially like Opus, I think it's like Opus 5.2, 4.6, 4, 5 point something, something. The best version of Opus is the most complex model. It can do the most different tasks, and it is the smartest brain. Think about a robot as like a soul. That's why you have a soul MD file in your Claw. And any of these models, you could just input that brain directly into the model. So if your model is using Claude, it is the smartest model. If you have the same task and you give that same task to Kimi 2.5, Kimi 2.5, Claude, or for example, Google DeepMind, you'll find on average that Claude is the best at it. But I don't think you need to be using Claude for testing. You don't need to use Claude for testing. You can use any free model for your testing side of things, right? When you get into, okay, I've got something that works, it's scalable, and now I want to run it, then you run Claude. This thing's a bit wonky. It's getting to me. Let me fix it. Nice. Asymmetric. Is it asymmetry. Nice. Yeah. So that's kind of my idea. Start cheap and scale, right? It's the same thing in trading. Money doesn't make a difference. It gives you an advantage for testing for sure. But if your system is 20%, like if your system has leaks, and I'll show you the ideology that I learned like years ago. I think it's from Sam Ovens or somebody like this, right? And they do an example called a pipe. This is your business. This is your business, right? This pipe is your business. Now, if your business has leaks in the pipe and is spewing out in certain areas, and those areas are costing you money over here, it doesn't matter how much money you put through this pipe and this system, okay? If the leaks are more than what you're putting in, you will lose money. Doesn't matter how much you put in. If you are putting in, let's say $100 through this system, and over here it's leaking, $70, and over here it's leaking $40, for example, then over here you're negative $10. Okay, and if you scale this 10x, then all of a sudden now you're negative $100. Okay, and especially with AI, when you're running this system automatically, it can get very dark very fast. Okay, you might not notice these leaks in your business. That's why it's better to start small, because you see that $10 leak and you solve it. And then you solve it and you go, okay, let me knock down this leak from this to $20. And all of a sudden you're plus $10. And then when you scale it, you're plus $100. Okay. And that's how it works with business. For example, right? If you're running your claw, and you're telling it to do a task, and that task is costing you $100 of credits. Now in there, it's spending too much credits on research, okay? And it's spending too much credits on execution. And even though it's making you money, it's making you, $70, and it's making you, like $30 or something. It's still losing you money. So even though it's cool, yeah, I have a claw and this claw can do all of these different things for me. Who gives a shit? If you're not solving this, it doesn't matter. You can go and buy 5 computers, MacBooks, bear in mind, which are costing you money from the jump. You can go and have Opus running on all these different models. if you're still losing money in that system, it's not going to work, right? Now, the smart people at scale with all of these computers or small will ask their claw, because that's the beauty of this claw shit, is you can ask it, claw, go through our system, our content creation machine, spot leaks in our system where we can now optimize this before we go into the scaling phase and reduce the expenditure. And it will come back to you and say, I spotted all of these different things. I've knocked this down from $70 and I've knocked this down to $30. I've knocked this down from $40 cost and I've knocked this down from $20. Okay, Claude, now put that in our spreadsheet. No problem, it's in the spreadsheet. Okay, now run the test again. Oh, all of a sudden we're now profitable $400. Okay, great. Let me order 5 more MacBooks, 2 Mac Minis, 3 more things, upgrade everyone to Opus 4.6, run it again. Oh shit, now we're profitable 4,000. Right? That's why AI is so powerful and scalable, because it can be in anything. It can do any business, right? This could be an AI, this could be a SaaS company, AI SaaS company. This same framework could be a trading strategy. This same framework could be a content creation business. It could be anything. This could be your Facebook ads for your business, right? And it might take 6 months to get this all together. But it might take you two weeks to get it profitable and to change your entire life. And it works 24/7. That's what used to be so good about Facebook ads and e-commerce. I used to love waking up in the morning and I look at my notifications. I got 50 notifications of sales. Right? Let's have a look at what the comments are saying. Good thesis, keep going. Is a lawnmower good? I'm not sure, but you can always ask. You can ask ChatGPT. What about Solana? Yeah, I talk about this a lot. My thoughts for Solana, I even told a lot of traders, I said to a lot of traders, like, look, Sol's gonna dip. Okay. I have a Wyckoff thesis for Solana. It's hard to always tell with this Wyckoff stuff. I'm not an expert in that area, like where the Wyckoff pattern's gonna be. But for Wyckoff, you need to have, let's go to volume. You need to have a climax of sell pressure, which is normally like a big red sell pressure, which we're seeing. Like this. You need to have like a I'm a bit tired after all this talking. As you can tell, I've got like stream fatigue. I haven't streamed for a while. I've got to train it up, right? But with that, you need to have this large red candle, right? Which is like seller exhaustion, big bounce, as we've seen. Like if I zoom in loads, you can see it, right? So this big capitulation event. You can see it. After that, you have a clear defined low. Okay, I could be completely wrong here. Well, this is my thought. I've been reading the books. I've listened to this audiobook like how many times, and now I'm reading the paperback. Like, yeah, you gotta have a clear defined low. So this is it, and then my ideology is that we sweep that low. So I'm gonna probably be trading this. I drew it like this because obviously I'm doing a YouTube video to explain it. But for example, you drop down, you sweep that low, and then that sweep is where you want to get this entry, and it works on the, let's say, to all-time highs. So you can see right here. So you have a clear defined high, you sweep that high, you can see large sell pressure. What can you see in the volume? Climax, and then retest that, and then we go down, right? And if you're not looking for it, you ain't going to spot it. Like, I didn't spot this. There's no YouTube videos of me spotting this. I didn't call this, I didn't spot this, right? I wasn't looking for it. If you're looking for it, it's a lot different, okay? It's the same everywhere. So even at the bottom, when we had the FTX collapse, that was a seller climax. You can see it on the volume. Okay, and then what do we have after the FTX collapse? Clear defined low. We sweep that low, retest that low, and that's the bottom, right? Solana at what? $12. You would have looked like a quant if you bought Solana at $12. But you had to be looking for it to see it, right? And you simply wait, Jesse Livermore, wait for the big move. You're Gucci. Same thing with Bitcoin. You had a clear defined high here. You had your big sweep, which happened months later, 2 months later. And then you have a huge, huge correction into the bear market, right? Same thing at the bottom for Bitcoin in 2022 for March. I think it's like March and November 2022, yeah. Clear defined low, huge sell pressure. You can see we're pretty much at the same thing now. We have this clear defined low, and you can see we bounce, spring up, we trade in this range, and it just builds up a shit ton of liquidity. Liquidate everybody, there's your bottom, right? So we're seeing that now. It's going to be challenging, but if you're just trading spot, it's so Gucci, because I'm just going to wait. We have a clear defined low, waiting for this liquidity zone. We could come all the way down, and eventually that should be the bottom. If it's not, that's fine. It's just risk management. You just got to wait. But I mean, buying in these zones over the course of 4 years, are probably going to outperform me buying a house over the course of 4 years. You know, you buy a house, you're probably going to want to live in it, all that type of shit. Same thing for Ethereum. Ethereum was a little bit longer. Clear defined high, sweep that high, nuke. Even on the short-term time frame, clear defined high, sweep that high. That was the top, 5,000. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people top blasted that. Breakout trades. You don't want to be a breakout trader, right? Same thing over here. The first clear defined low. This one was a little bit harder, but again, if you brought spot, you're not that fussed, right? Clear defined low, we swept it. Okay, that wasn't a low. We had another clear defined low, swept that. That was the bottom, right? I think Bitcoin is going to do something a little bit more like this, okay, than what we had last bear market. If you actually look, let me see. I don't even know if I need to open a clear tab. You can see it, right? So if you actually look at this, Bitcoin's looking like it's doing something the same, right? We have this nice range, but it's tight. We trade in this range nicely. Sweep this. I reckon we sweep 58K. A little bit. Nice wick, and that's the bottom. If not, again, just 50K. And if not, 40. You just got to trade like that. And then I know that spot, if I'm buying spot, I'm so Gucci. So Gucci in that situation. This happens with every chart. Okay, Binance coin, we actually had a blow off top. But if you look on the short-term time frame, again, clear defined high, sweep that high, no retest, and that was just a nuke, bottom. Same thing will probably happen at the low. If you look at the low over here, clearly defined low, sweep that low, and then we run. And the reason behind this is because if you're an institution, you can't, like Binance are buying billions of dollars. They can't buy. It's physically almost impossible to buy in these ranges. Maybe, yeah, you can TWAP or something like this, but you're not getting the best price. You're going to get the best price buying when everyone's getting liquidated, because they have to buy from you. They literally buy your bags. It's an amazing thing when you look into it on how markets actually work, because all markets are buyers and sellers. Someone's buying, someone's selling. That's it. And if you've got somebody who wants to enter a major position, they're not going to enter on these candles, these high volume candles. They're going to enter down here in these ranges, right? While you are trading leverage and saying, right, I'm 10x long. Ironic how this is exactly 13%. It's always ironic how these like sweeps are always around 10 to 15%, because everybody is on average, they're on 10x leverage, right? Look at this. Look at the recent bottom for Solana. Exactly the same. 13%. The other one was exactly 13%. It's always, oh, sorry. Here. 13%. The other one was exactly 13%. Ooh, FC agent. Let's have a look. Holy shit. Okay, I bridged some to base now. How much are people buying? Yeah, I'll bridge some ASAP. Let me get some base USDC. Um, bruh, where the fuck is my Solana? Sorry, chat. I'm gonna take this alpha. Apparently, it's good alpha. JS. Boom, boom. Okay. Convert. Base, ETH, Sol, Solana, 46. What is it fake? We'll see. I mean, if we break 330, I'll probably cut. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Who the fuck's a wish? Looks fake. Today we are introducing a new native forecaster agent. Oh, I mean, it's real. There can be any deploys though. Let's see. Looks like anti-hunter's the alpha though. I see people buying anti-hunter a lot more. We might actually get a god tier entry. Let's see. Wait, we'll see if we get this. I'll add more. I'm happy to DC at these levels because this is insane levels. Where are my buys? Nice. Let's have a look. Where was your entry, bro? In chat. Yeah, obviously it's a fake coin for sure. He's not gonna. He wouldn't deploy a coin. It would already be at 20 mil. But it just depends if the market wants it, which it looks like they do. But this is a good range to buy. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Oh, the whole. I don't. How is this fake though? I thought it was real because the follower count. Oh, so people are doing fake. Oh, they're doing fake forecaster accounts. That's a good rug. So that means this guy is this guy a LARPer? Ah. Yeah, he's definitely a LARPer then. It's time for the percolator. Let's see if we get that. Apparently funding from a trencher. Ooh. Let's see. Let's see. I don't mind. If you confirm that blast. That's how all these coins start, isn't it? I mean, as long as we're getting in at 80% correction, I don't mind like losing like 60%. Let's see. If we break like 300k, we'll have to cut. But if we get this nice little crime, it'll be nice. It's time for the percolator. I don't even think it's even worth checking Twitter now. Just keep an eye on the chart. Right, let's clear this up. And let's get yeah, the thing is, I doubt he's like. Well, I mean, he'll probably confirm that he made it, right? But this was like a great psyop on the Ruger side. That's a crazy psyop. Why would he go to 3 mil? Lock me out of swapping? What do you mean? What do you mean you're locked out of swapping? How? What, like swapping on GMGN? My opinion on Bearer? I'm not in Bearer at the moment. Like Bearer Chain? Does anybody like even use Bearer Chain anymore? I'm trying to go USDC on base. Wow. Use base ETH. I use base ETH. Where was I on RuneScape for? Yeah, bro. RuneScape, RTS games, those are my gig, bro. I love that type of stuff. Hours and hours. I remember actually I stole my friend's like it was like a premium account or something, like loads of credits and shit. He had like loads of ward and all that stuff. I remember I stole his account. Well, we let me use it. It was a shared account because we was only kids. But I wasted all his credits. Yeah, I don't know if Agent's gonna reverse, but the RR is pretty good here. Snoopy! Yo! 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 Yes, Snoopy! Well, go on, bro. Right, we're gonna get the OG stream chicken sandwich. The OG stream chicken sandwich is on the way. We're gonna stream till like another hour or two, then I'm gonna sleep for American hours. Doesn't look like base people don't really like this type of vibe either. They like things that are confirmed as well. It's normally soul traders that will speculate a little bit more that I've seen. But we lose this level, I'll get out. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we'll hop out. Right, let's set up our new pairs. What's everyone's presets on base? Obviously max 10, min 8. Some cells in there, probably 3 cells. It's that bad. There's no new pairs. There's no new pairs on base. Wow. Can't trench base then if it's like this. Yeah, I'll stream American hours for sure. I gotta warm up before this live stream. I gotta warm up before the live stream, bro. Because right now I'll be honest, I'm rusty. I am rusty right now. Base if request timeout. Wow. Oh, so the whole feature's down. Okay. Right. I guess I have to send some. Yeah, what? Ah, okay. Okay, we have some Solana. Right, let's see what we're cooking with. For some reason, my mouse is a little bit buggy as well. Alright, let's see. So, Firehorse. I seen Firehorse earlier. I'll just set up some alerts on some of these runners. What if? Oh, I'm sure this has been done. This definitely reminds me of like a certain KOL's coin, this one. They normally do well. I kind of already missed the... You get a 786 on these ones. Sounds percolator. I've got that song stuck in my head. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. This one was supposed to be good as well. Like a Agentic Launchpad. I made like $400 on it earlier. AI, artificial intelligence. This is cool. I'm still on my 786 hype as well. It's just the best area to buy dips on older charts. Like new pairs, yeah, obviously you don't want to wait for a 786. You might never get it. But older coins, 70 to 80% corrections are nice. Crabs, malt crabs. This is a nice coin. Wow. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. Pitch perfect. 6x. Omega Health, I remember this, but this is a rug. Huddle. Who's in? Nah. How's the main runner doing? Punch. Back to 11 mil, nice. I mean, it's got demand, right? But I don't know if I can buy, even though the top holder's diamond hands. He might just make the decision to be like, yeah, fuck it. And then we're really, really fucked. Oh, like 400k profit? 2 people up 400k? I don't know, bro. Distribution is not that good. But again, I'm rusty. I don't know. Maybe people are trading these ones. Let's see. No. Let's see. Fucking fly. Yeah, I'll be streaming American hours. I've been gone since mid-December. Came back the day market dipped. Long soul. Aha! Bro, it's crazy, right? You actually don't need to trade every day. You really don't. Like, you actually don't need to trade every day. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions in crypto, right? Right, let's get rid of bags. No way. We'll leave the rest of them. Zor is on Solana. How long has Zor been on Solana for? Age. No, we're not going to put on max age because we don't even need that. Minimum market cap, 8k. Sales, free sales. Total fees. Let's get rid of the scams. 0.2. Don't really care about volume. Liquidity don't really matter. Yeah, let's raw dog. Oh yeah, definitely have to put max age on. I thought max age was, yeah, 3 minutes. Oh, what the fuck? No way it's that bad. Is it that bad on chain? Wow. No way it's that bad. Ooh. Well, it is Asian hours, isn't it? Golden dog? Golden dog, what's the law? Copy Inu beta. 5k topper. Asian hour is Chinese meta? I mean, Asian hours Chinese meta could be nice. Chinese social credit. I like retarded running horse. Maybe not. Wow. Okay, we'll wait for something. Fire horse is low-key the best one. I got my base. I bought this Singularity. It was supposed to be like the next big thing. I didn't buy a lot. Because I don't like buying based on like if the tech comes out. Unless I know the devs. Auspicious. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Mascot of the year? Is there an OG? Is there an OG new pair? There's one in a different Chinese one now. Nice, bro. Hey, bro, if you just joined back, hop in the Discord, bro. I got a new Discord channel. Just put exclamation mark Discord in the chat. If you're old premium member as well, you get premium. So I just gotta do some business shit quickly. Or using an agent to trade autonomously. That's the goal. That's the goal. What the premium get? Premium get the Discord bots that I'm building. I've built. They get Discord bots, they get signals. I can't lie, the premium get a lot. The premium get a lot. It's worth it. Like, it's worth starting free. Have a look at the Discord, see if you like it, and then try and paid, and then stick around if you like it. Let me get my grab. But yeah, the plan for my agent is obviously for it to trade, bro. It's in the description or it's in the live chat. Yeah, you can join by the WAP, or you can just join that link in the chat. I don't know about horse. Again, I'm rusty. I don't know how long things are taking to bond. So I don't know. Normally I would G by now because it hasn't bonded yet, but I don't know if things are it's like slow bonding and bundles and all this stuff. So you have to I kind of like to get a feel for the market. It's gonna take me, what is it? It's the 17th. We're going on the 23rd. I actually should book my flights, but so yeah, next 3-4 days I'm just gonna just trade small and see. Yeah, I know it's hard to, what I'm gonna do is I have a video. I'm gonna make videos to help people get through the WAP, because you are right, it is kind of confusing. Even when I've joined other people's discords, like I've joined Potion and these other ones, like I joined Shocked as well. It's all the same. That's how the system kind of works on WAP, but it's very confusing to people to join. Because obviously WAP want people to stay on WAP, but you want people to go to Discord. So Maya on Soul, is that the animal coin? I know. What's the law there? Haha, yo, bro, welcome back, bro. Welcome back. I'm gonna sell. Why does it take so long? Whoa. We'll take the $100, but I think this is too early. We'll see. Because there's literally nothing else. Maybe we've got to make this time like, I don't know, 10 minutes. I think that coin probably bonds. I reckon US hours, Scoopy, if you're here, bro. Chinese deploys US hours, for sure. All right, guys, it's 3 o'clock where I'm at, right? So I'm gonna go chill, get some rest. You should probably too. And I'll come back when it's high volume. I'll come back for American hours. In this stream, if you've just joined, at the start of the stream, I gave my whole entire thesis of AI, why I think AI is so viable, why I think it's so powerful, and why you should probably be looking at it as well. If you appreciate this stream, make sure to like and subscribe. Join the Discord and stick around. DZ is going to live stream, and a bunch of other people in the live stream as well. I think I forgot his name. No, but my head's fried. But a bunch of people are going to live stream as well, so make sure to go check it out. And remember, 23rd, set your calendars for the 23rd. 2 weeks. It's going to be the biggest stream that you've ever seen. We're spending a lot of money. We're spending like over $100,000 on this thing. So it's going to be very, very good. Very high production, very professional. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. I'm trying to level up the content. Whatever you guys give me, I'm going to try to give it back 10x. So appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. And I'll see you tonight. Peace.